welcome to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm here today with a pick a card reading. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you to everyone who is joining us for the first time today. We would love to have you join our beautiful soul family here by subscribing to the channel, hitting your notification bell and your like button if you enjoy this video. I do pick a card readings on this channel. I try to release a couple times a week, so pull up a chair, get cozy. We're going to have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather around this table. For today's pick a card topic, we're looking at someone that you're really keen on, someone that you're really interested in. Maybe you're crushing on this person. Maybe you've been hiding your feelings for them. And we're asking the question, what would happen if you reached out to this person and told them how you feel, or you reached out to them in general? How would they think? What would they do? We have 3 piles to choose from today. We have the Amanita here, the expanded awareness mushroom. We have the bleeding tooth mushroom. We have the scarlet elf cup mushroom as well for pile number 3. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be messages waiting today from spirit, and my timestamps are listed below. I'm going to jump into pile number 1. Again, today's topic is all about someone on your mind and what would they do, how would they react, how would they feel if you reached out to them. And you don't even have to confess how you feel, but what would they do if you reached out to them and started the initiation process or told them how you felt. Pile 1, pile 2, pile number 3. Hello, pile number 1. You were drawn here to the Amanita card here, the expanded awareness card, and this is your reading. What would the person on your mind think and do if you reached out to them and if you started talking to them? Maybe if you confessed your feelings to them, what would they do? Now, this card, Amanita, is number 16 for a reason. There's tower energy surrounding this, and it's not about destruction, but it is about epiphanies and truths, because this card really does speak to sort of bridging realities together. So you could be holding a specific reality connected to this person. They could be holding a different version of events or a different view of the connection itself, and they may be completely unaware of how you're feeling. And so reaching out to them, this could be a good sign of perhaps some slow growth that could ultimately stop at slow growth and lead to some change. There's this oak tree here, oak leaf hanging underneath the mushroom, which does symbolize strength to be able to have the courage to reach out. But it's also speaking about a long time period where the two of you did not have clarity. So there's something about bridging the realities here that could be beneficial for you in this connection if you chose to reach out to them. So what would this person think and do if you reached out to them and expressed yourself in some type of way, whatever way you feel comfortable? Maybe expressing yourself just means flirting with them. Maybe expressing yourself means telling them how you feel. But what would they think and do if you reached out to them and you made the contact? We have the Knight of Wands coming out first for you. We have the Page of Pentacles. We also have here the King of Cups coming out with that page and the King of Swords. So we could be dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We also have fire, however, so we have Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. These signs don't have to be specific to your person or yourself. They just more so will create a definition of this person's emotions and energy. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Three of Cups. There's that Tower energy, and there's the Queen of Wands. I almost get this impression of like them waiting for something, like waiting to hear it from you in some way. Here is the Page of Cups, and there's the Eight of Cups supporting that page. There's the Devil, Capricorn. So what's really exciting about your pile 1 is the fact that this person would be very surprised if you reached out to them or if you confirmed your feelings in some type of way. I feel like they would be tickled pink, to be honest. I feel like it would almost blow their minds a little bit because they're operating from a completely different perspective. They're telling themselves maybe that you're not feeling anything, and that could be just their way of minimizing some of the prompts that they're experiencing to bring forward truth to you about how they're feeling. But this can create progress. This can create momentum. In the very least, they'll be able to move on from one perspective and bridge that gap as we were talking about. You'll notice, first of all, Knight of Wands is your starting card. Moving into the page, moving into Three of Wands, Three of Cups. This is celebration. This is expansion. It's kind of like us launching ourselves into more. I see reunions in the future for you as well. And what happens within the dynamics of those reunions, there could be even more expansion in the physical reunion between the two of you. I see the two of you going out and having fun, maybe even in a group of like friends or groups of friends. Maybe you are friends with this person, but it changes everything. It changes everything with their perspective. It could change everything for the future of your connection in very abundant ways. It helps to empower this person. It helps them to move on from a limiting perspective. And it really surprises them. They don't expect it, but it instinctively makes them want you and want movement. Now, I will say here, there is a message coming here with the King and the King of Swords. You'll notice that the King of Cups has no armor. That's emotion. You know, that can feel very vulnerable, kind of like a lobster that's going through a molt. It's like I'm going through this major change. I'm getting this epiphany. I feel really vulnerable. So they might kind of act really cool, act collected, act like, you know, the information is, you know, it's positive, but it's almost like they're trying to pretend like they're acting cool about it, but you can see right through it, and you can see the excitement. So they try to act calm and collected. They try to act cool. But inside, they're like, oh my gosh, this is happening. It feels really exciting. It's the prompt that leads to change. There's the Ace of Wands. And it's not that they haven't had this inspiration before about you, because I feel like they had, but they thought that it was one-sided. They didn't think that you felt the same way. We have the King of Wands and the Sun. Aries energy very strong right now, actually. And the thing about the Aries energy is that when they get a prompt, when they get some type of encouragement, oftentimes they can refocus very quickly and they take action. They are I don't want to say aggressive in their actions, but they are quick for movement, quick to movement. And you can see that with the Sun, even though this King is standing, again, we have most of all of the Kings out now, and we have this Sun energy. So although they're sitting in confidence and feeling really confident, knowing now how you feel so that they can confidently go forward, the vulnerability is still here. This big red flag of victory is also with them in that vulnerability. This is also highlighting fire energy for the Divine Feminine, and perhaps the vulnerability and the confidence that you're going to have to tap into to take action. So it's almost like they're saying the Divine Feminine is going to have to tap into Divine Masculine energy to really grab the bull by the horns and take action in this way. We have the Four of Cups, and you see the 4 and the 3 is the 7 of Cups. It really clears out confusion. And it's like an offer that comes in. You can see the 3 of Cups sitting on the ground, and perhaps somebody, again, stuck in a friendship or feeling like they're limited by the friendship, but now this offer comes in out of the blue, out of this cloud. I just saw the 3 of Pentacles on the back of the deck, and there's the King of Pentacles. All 4 kings out now. Confidence, feeling secure, feeling really abundant in themselves. Like you expressing yourself just boosts this person's ego, boosts their mood, makes them feel great, makes them feel secure. We have the Queen of Wands and we have the Lovers. And this, again, is fire energy from the Divine Feminine, having to make a big decision. And you're nervous about it because you don't know what's waiting for you. But Spirit says there's a lot of abundance waiting for you in the unknown here. In the very least, when we choose to take leaps of faith, we are communicating to the universe that we're not letting deficits stop us. We may still have fear going along for the ride, but we're not stopping it from turning over the stones that we need to. And it allows us to ascend, no matter what outcome we receive. But the good news for you, Pal 1, is that there's a positive outcome that leads to permanent change. But it also sort of brings us to the precipice of change and a crossroads in this connection where we're really going to have to decide how far do we want this to go. This is just the beginning. Just the beginning, and the decision to launch yourself into the truth and into clarity is just the beginning in this connection. So a very positive outcome, a very positive reaction too. Nothing negative about their reaction. Again, they might feel a little calm or cool or collected. They may pretend that, you know, oh yeah, this is good news. But the truth is, inside, they're feeling really excited. I almost just saw, like, in my mind's eye, like a little, I saw a man doing it, but like a little girl screaming in excitement, but I see a man doing it almost in jest. So Spirit just wants you to be prepared for that. Stay optimistic about your love life because positive thinking will bring you romance, and there is a strong magnetic attraction here, and it is very mutual. So they're encouraging us to make the effort. It's worth the steps. This is a very positive pile. It's worth the steps that you feel guided to take, pile 1. Trust in your instincts to guide you through the situation, the pathfinder. I often think of like a deer in a headlights, and this little deer looks like a button buck. So there's like this insecurity with the button buck. They don't have the confidence. But if you trust in your higher self, who has already been through these cycles, then you will have more confidence. You'll be able to attach yourself to that. You are provided for in all ways. So you can plow through your insecurity and achieve more out of this situation than you could perhaps even have imagined. We have Hawk. It's time to choose your priorities and eliminate all distractions. So you may not feel ready to launch in this moment. Your guides are encouraging you to take some time to reflect from every angle about what you want to say, where you want this to move forward towards before you make your critical decision. But they are green lighting this all the way. We have here resilient. You are as strong as an evergreen tree. And surprises. Underneath the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden. Sometimes when we're about to make a decision, we start to mentally prepare ourselves for every possible outcome. And that's actually a way of distracting ourselves from feeling the emotion of that anxiety or that fear or that worry. So it's actually a state of resistance. We think that we're doing a really good spiritual job by overthinking, but it just limits us. So Spirit says you're going to be surprised by the outcome here. We have clearing. It's time to make room for growth on the back of that deck. What an abundant pile for you, pile 1. Advice for pile number 1 in the bowl, please. Ace of Wands, the spark that leads to more. We do have the Star of Aquarius coming out. They're talking about perhaps reaching out to this person online. They're speaking about that. They're also saying that there's this wait and this delay that you may also experience, or that you may create from this point because you're just working towards the strength energy. There's just a feeling about wasting a little bit of time. Or maybe you have wasted time, or this connection in the past, it's like we've wasted a little bit of time. But Spirit says nothing has gone to waste. The only thing now that we have to do is clear out the confusion. Redirect our focus and clear out the confusion. This friendship or this connection is going to be taking a different path. We have L and we have K as initials in the bowl today. We do have acoustic guitar, and that could be listening to the notes of intuition. And we have the blue, we have the masculine Pisces energy coming in the bowl. I often think of the 10 of Swords with this fishbone, and it's somebody who has maybe given up a little bit of hope or feels helpless to be able to create change in your connection. So they may need a little bit of a boost of clarity to help transition this into clarity, into more. We have wings and we have love on a foundation. So they're going to be building upon this connection as long as we let our secrets out here. We also have here a dime. I think of Libra, October. It's from 2015. So I also think of the 6 of Swords and that sailboat and transitions and collaborations towards clarity. Pile 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. I will be drawing a name this week, so be sure to do that and hit your notification bell if you do so. If you're new to the channel, be sure to do the same. Drop your comment below if you enjoyed this video. Hit your notification bell for your chance to win a free tarot reading. It's just my way of giving back to the community for your support here, so I really appreciate you being here. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and that link is below as well. And I hope that you come back here towards the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the bleeding tooth mushroom, and this is your reading. What would the person on your mind say and do if you reached out to them and spoke to them, or confessed your feelings, or started the flirtation process? How would they feel? What would they do? This bleeding tooth mushroom, it says stagnation. So maybe things have been in a bit of a state of limbo for a while, and the scientists don't really exactly know what the oozing little red things are that ooze out of the top of the mushroom, or what the medicinal purposes are, but they have found that there's a link towards Alzheimer's and like a medicinal treatment. And I don't know why Spirit wants me to bring that up, but there's this aspect of Alzheimer's. So that could be why they're bringing that up, is because of the forgotten nature or feeling forgotten. So you may be feeling forgotten in this moment, or they may be feeling forgotten. And there's almost like, this almost looks ominous, like the ooze that comes out of the top of that mushroom. It feels sticky. It's like we don't want to touch it. So there's like this feeling about fear of loss with the bleeding tooth, even with the aspect of the bleeding tooth, like a fear of loss here, because there's been such stagnation and we're worried that we have been forgotten. But let's take a look here. What would the person on your mind say and do? What would they feel if you were to reach out to them? We have the King of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands. You can see how this fox energy, the fox is a very shrewd and intelligent animal. And there's something about, sometimes they say, you know, sneaky as a fox. It's like getting caught off guard, getting completely caught off guard, getting swept up in the communication. We have the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups can speak about somebody who is from the past, or nostalgic type of person, or someone that we've just hold a really strong nostalgia for, or a really strong pedestal for in this person. There's a reunion aspect to it. We have the World, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. This person told themselves in the past that there was like something almost magical about your connection in some way. And then as the stagnation has proceeded, or as we've perhaps been in disconnect in some way, it's like the ego's chipping away at that, or it's like it's telling us that we're wrong. Not that we are wrong, but it's telling them that they're wrong. We have the Fool. And we have the Five of Pentacles coming in the reversal. Back of the deck is the Judgment. And we do have the Tower. Now you'll notice with the Judgment that this moth is being drawn towards the flame. And we all know what happens to the moth once it hits that flame. It seems like it can't stop itself. It's like a draw, like a magnet. And that's what it feels like if you reached out to this person. This could be in complete disconnect. This energy between the two of you could be in complete disconnect at this moment. That's why reunions are at the forefront of your message right now. If you were to reach out to this person and express yourself in any type of way, again, caught right off guard, they would not be expecting it because of the long duration of the delay, perhaps. And honestly, it's like, it feels very bittersweet. It feels very bittersweet. It's like I can finally connect the dots. I can finally have clarity. I can finally see what it was hidden and express myself too, because I feel like this person would express themselves in return. There's a generosity here, and as vulnerable as you are with them, I feel like they'll return that generosity and return that vulnerability. But we can't deny the Tower. We can't deny the Six of Swords. We can't deny the Fool reversed and the Five of Pentacles reversed. So it does feel like for someone watching, this person could already be in a commitment cycle up to this point, or you could be in the commitment cycle. Someone in this connection doesn't feel available. And it stinks. You can see the skunk. It stinks a little bit. The position. It's like this. The Nine of Pentacles is nothing to snark at. It's a great position. Other people envy it. But all of a sudden, this King of Pentacles looks at this position and says, well, now this stinks because I wish that I could just have freedom to perhaps reunite with you. So completely caught off guard, and catches their logic off guard too, because normally perhaps this person would be more stoic, but in this reunion type of energy, they would be very generous with you. They would be emotionally vulnerable with you. They would share how they feel too. We're talking about all of this happening perhaps on the internet as well. You have the Seven of Pentacles. And what it would do, it would get this person's wheels turning about what can I do? What can I do? This stinks. And when we recognize, okay, this stinks and my position is what stinks, what can I do about it? And it starts to make them conscious about upheaval and about pulling out what they've invested over the course of many years, perhaps, because there's something really special about you. So you act as a huge temptation, actually. But they are concerned about what they have invested in and not being able to make a new decision later. Yeah, they keep talking about earth-driven energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Sometimes the King of Pentacles can be like a father figure of some kind, so they could have a family as well, because they are really afraid. Their ego keeps saying to them, you know, what would happen if I gave into this? Because you'll notice with the Fool, there's this great big beautiful ladybug, which is luck on their side. The mouse is now holding this little bright rose of hope, and that would be what your communication would bring in for this person, is hope, is luck, feeling really lucky, but then the Fool's reversed and feeling frustrated because luck is on my side, but this position is not on my side to follow that luck because I'm worried about losing something practical. It does get the wheels turning for them to create a new life. It makes them wonder about what that new life would be like with you. And I feel like they would also express a lot of regret about not being generous with you sooner, or not being generous with you in time, because they would communicate their feelings. And although I feel like it would be you taking the leadership role, this person would meet you halfway when it comes to taking that leadership role of truth coming out. I don't feel like they would hold back. You do have the Six of Wands, and we have the Four of Swords. Another result of you reaching out and expressing yourself to this person would be confidence for this person, just bursting with confidence. But it is also feels a little bit counterfeit because they would be forced to wear masks in their current environment. And you would create an epiphany for them that they wouldn't be able to unlearn. It's like once you share the truth of how you're feeling, and again, sometimes this can be like a friendship from the past that should have evolved but didn't. But once you share that truth, that's a reality that stings a little bit. It's like, well, I wish I would have known that sooner. I wish that would have been information that would have been beneficial to me yesterday. Because I'm seeing that Adam Sandler quote in my mind. There's like a frustration in the fact that they can't achieve exactly what they want right away. And there's a feeling about ultimately almost wishing I didn't know. It's like because of the challenges, because of the obstacles, it's like I wish I didn't know how you feel. And there's a mutual feeling between there because of the challenges and the obstacles that they feel like would need to get out of the way. I also feel like communication would continue in this connection if you decided to reach out. And as I said, I feel like the communication has been stagnated for quite, maybe even a few years for someone watching, and perhaps even extended beyond that few years. What would they do and think? We have here, what do you need to release? And that would be what they would reflect upon. What is it that I need to shift around? What do I need to release in order to create space? Because this is a connection that's worth the steps. Now, I don't think that they would be able to execute any type of change right away. I feel like there would be a delay that would be necessary almost. It says here, you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. And ultimately, that might be what they're waiting to hear. That could be what stopped them from acting towards you in the past, was just a self-loathing or a feeling of not being enough. And they would know now that they are enough and they were enough. And so it's a bittersweet energy that comes, and then conclusions are within reach. Now I will see here, we have the Justice, the King of Cups, the Hierophant, and then as we are moving through here, the Tower, and then we have the Six of Swords. So in the very least, this creates some type of closure, if that's where you want to take this connection beyond that point. It creates clarity, which brings us out of the disturbing, choppy water and into clarity, and it can create closure, because there will be a fear of change regarding the home, regarding my investments. Back of the deck says, show the world the real you. And it's all about revelations, and revelations that perhaps should have come in a long time ago, like a long time coming. If they were to reach out, what would they do and think? We have here reclaiming your power, the Panther spirit. And there's a feeling of like an unlikely ally. They would be very taken aback. They wouldn't realize that they would have the ally in you, that in these emotions that they actually have. Now the Panther, I often think about watching from a distance or watching from the darkness as well. I also think about kind of retreating to watch. I feel like there would be continued communication, but it might have to come in a sort of a secrecy type of energy. We also have here, love is all around. The nightingale spirit. And I just heard sing sweet nightingale, sing sweet nightingale. So they would declare something. There would be a declaration about how this was always around us. We were always connected. There's a certain type of destiny that, again, this person feels surrounding you. And then we have here whale spirit, trust the great mystery, expression with the whale, or it could drown in that emotion. Guys, please for pile number 2. We have here, you always have a choice, the freedom, the horse. But yet I just immediately looked at this horse with this look of like, don't you have a bridle on? Like, aren't you claimed in some way? So there's a feeling about them recognizing that they actually have a choice, but having to make a decision. And it could be a decision that would involve other people. We also have retreat the turtle, stop trying to make something happen. And we have you are determined to get where you are going with determination. They are talking about obstacles, but they aren't insurmountable. They're just big, and they will require huge adjustments, and they will require perhaps a healing period if we do choose to take it there. They say the only momentum you have to create is the communication. This person will be responsible for the rest of their clearance if they choose to take it. But there can be more in the future of this connection as well. I feel like there will be more communication, but I also feel like there'll be a stagnation in the physical evolution. Advice for pile number 2, please. Hierophant reversed. I do think there could be marriages here. This 8 of Wands comes in hot to affect that and makes us kind of, I don't want to say resent our position, but have to adjust our position in some way. Because this person is too afraid to tell you how they felt, or they were afraid in the past. And the 2 of Cups is someone who wishes they could be in a relationship with you. They could also already be present in a relationship at this time. Pineapple, friendship, reunions. I also think of swinging energy, so take that as it resonates. We do have a baby carriage. I think of youth. I think of the past, but also children being a factor, perhaps. Acoustics. Listen to the notes of intuition. The 5 honey cells that are empty, so they're worried about practical losses and refilling up. It's like starting over from scratch. We also have the crescent moon with the star and the fairy. And they've been watching you, or they've been hoping for you for a long time, but keeping it very secret. And we do have the hanged man. We have Jesus on the cross. So there's a stagnation or feeling like they need to surrender to a truth. And a bit of a victim mentality that's coming in as well. Pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. Hope it resonates with you. If it does, drop your comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I do update that shop daily. But I hope that you come back here and visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You were drawn to the Scarlet Elf Cup, and this is your reading. What would the person on your mind do if you reached out to them and you spoke to them about your feelings, or you expressed yourself in some way? The Scarlet Elf Cup is an interesting mushroom. It says healing at the bottom of the card, and this big red saucer top to the mushroom, the big red energy, it really highlights the elf energy and how elves can either empower us, or they can either curse us or bless us. Like, there's a feeling of empowerment and also fear associated here. And there's a healing aspect. So we have the 20 of reflection at the top of the card, which does encourage reflection. So what you have to say might give this person a cause to pause and to think about everything in the past. It might also give them a reason to stop and reflect upon adjustments that need to be made, adjustments that need to be made in their heart space. They're also saying that information in this connection, or a communication between the 2 of you, would be perhaps like a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's like sometimes ignorance can be bliss because it doesn't challenge us to step outside of our comfort zones. So let's take a look here and see. I'm going to use the little ghost tarot for you to start here. What would they do? How would they react? if you were to reach out to them. We have here the Two of Wands. Starting out your reading. And there's still bones to pick. They've been holding space for this connection. You know, one of my previous readings was Who's Haunting You, and I did use this deck, and so there's an aspect of that about you being a constant companion in the mind. You've been on their mind, and the reality of this connection has been on their mind. We do have the Six of Wands coming out with the Page of Cups, and we also have the Empress. I feel like, first of all, they would be really, really happy to hear from you because you represent the Empress energy. Like, that's just, first of all, they would be very surprised. There would be this energy that just pops up out of the blue. It would not be expected. We have the Strength. And honestly, it would lift their confidence. It would sort of light them up inside in a way that they haven't been lit up. They would be very happy to hear from you. There would be a jovial type of energy and feeling really confident. But then we have the Strength energy. And then you can see in behind the ghost is this little shadow person. It looks like a devil energy. And the attachment, the desire creeping up. It doesn't just feel like revelations. It feels like it challenges them. We have here the Ten of Wands. Because yes, it's a blessing and a curse. This is the blessing. The Six of Wands is the confidence. The Ten of Wands is the burden now. It's like, yes, I finally have the answer, but oh my gosh, I finally have the answer. Now what do I do with it? What do I do with this collaboration? Because like you're expecting a response and they feel that. And now this little ghost is walking on this little stone wall. So foundations could be important. The same foundations that they've built to create abundance for themselves may be the same foundations that challenge them now. We have here the Page of Cups here. What was this one? That's the Page of Cups. This is the Page of Swords. Sorry, there's so little the writing. So we have the Page of Swords. We also have here the High Priestess on the back of the deck. And we have the Three of Cups. Again, there's this inside, they'd be screaming for joy. Inside, they'd be so happy, but then they'd have a lot of things to sort out, is what I just heard. They would want to embrace that moment, embrace that momentum, embrace how that feels, but they would have a lot of things to sort out. Perhaps when it comes to karmic decisions, karmic relationships, karmic trenches, they would just feel like it was a blessing and a curse to have the information about how you're actually feeling. On one hand, they put you on this huge pedestal. You are the Empress energy. That's abundance manifested. That's grace. That's beauty. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. But it tests them because it's almost like they don't know if they can trust the proclamation. It's like they second guess what you have to say when they think about what your emotion means and what your feelings for them mean. It's like they don't know if they can trust it, or they're afraid because they know what it's going to take as a sacrifice in order to move towards you. In order to share this connection equally, they know they're going to have to sacrifice something very practical. Again, with the Six of Pentacles, that could be a karmic relationship. And they would feel kind of limited to be able to share equally with you in that conversation. So they may not express themselves equally to you in that first conversation. They may feel very torn about saying too much, very torn about expressing themselves to you equally because there are so many complications. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, we have the Devil coming in reverse and the Sun. We have Capricorn energy, Leo energy. And we have the Five of Cups. We also have the Ace of Wands with the Hermit. Now, they are saying that if you reached out to this person and expressed themselves, they may actually retreat a little bit after the expression. So after you communicate with them, you might not hear back from them right away. For instance, if you communicated with them online or you sent a text or something, they may not respond right away, or they may retreat after a conversation because they have a lot to think about. And that's when all of the truth the reality of your feelings, of your admission, the reality of their situation, because you would entice them to want to drop their responsibilities. Like, that's the problem, is that there's a bittersweet aspect to the revelation because they have responsibilities, they have a lot on their plate, but you make them want to do what they want to do. You make them want to reach out to you again. You make them want to be with you. Even in a physical sense, to be honest with you, there's a very sexualized energy coming in. It lights them up inside, but it also challenges them in huge ways to detach from decisions that they feel like they would be making based on their integrity. But I always say that true integrity and true decisions based on it are decisions made in clarity and truth, ultimately. As we move through here, the Page of Swords and the Five of Cups, Spirit says that they may sort of maintain their physical distance from you. They may just be a watcher. The two of you may just communicate online for some time because they would be challenged to find solutions that would make sense for them, or they would be challenged to find solutions that don't include practical losses. And because that challenge is so hard, it's like they focus on what they've lost and not focused on the bridges that are available to them. So they may feel very limited in being able to create steps towards you because they feel like it requires careful handling. But you do inspire that change. They just take that inspiration and they internalize it. And I feel like there might even be a challenge for you to feel like they're happy to hear from you. It says you're very close to achieving your goal. And the answers you need are coming. So they would retreat because they'd have decisions to make. They have choices to make. And so you may feel frustrated with delays, and you might have to look to your intuition to really guide you through those delays as well. But they say that it could initiate a new romantic cycle. And luck is actually on your side. They would also feel like luck is on their side. But it's a bittersweet. Just like just like the card that you were drawn to, the Scarlet Elf Cup. It's this feeling about being empowered, but also being restricted. The elf giving us either a blessing or a curse. And sometimes it's a little bit of a mixture of two. So luck may be on your side, and they would actually feel really lucky and feel really confident that you feel the same way, that you feel this emotion. They would feel that too. But it's complicated, I feel. It's really complicated for this person. We do have your hard work is paying off. But it would perhaps be hard work to be able to bridge this gap into some type of reunion or into some type of relationship. There would still be challenges that we would have to face. We have here, Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. I see the spider, I think of the dream catcher. They're also talking about weaving our own destiny, and somebody who has sort of woven their own story. We do have be generous of spirit with the lion. And they're also asking for generosity when it comes to patience with this person, because I feel like they're going to require that, because they might need the patience to help them clear out the clutter. And the clutter could include clutter in the mind that then needs to be expressed outward so that their physical environment can follow suit, and we can clear out that blockage. Advice for pile number 3, please. What they say and do and feel if they... We have here, let go of control and surrender. I also feel a very strong watcher energy that comes in the future with this person. It's like they can't seem to not look at you or not contact you. You have all the resources you need with the raccoon, and I do think about taking the mask off. And someone who doesn't want to get caught with their hand in the pickle jar. We have Sam and determination. You know where you're going and you're going to get there. It will be a little bit of a fight or a battle. Like there's going to be some challenges that this person has to face. And so your determination may just need to be in the focus and the resolve that you hold towards the future of this connection. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. Nice for pile number 3 in the bowl. If you were to reach out to them, what they say or do. The Fool. The Two of Swords. It's like, despite my better judgment, they're the feeling of like not thinking logically immediately when you contact them because they just want to leap into action. Thoughts of you have been this person's perhaps constant companion, but they don't really have the ability to commit right away, and so they may intentionally hold back their truth. They may not share equally with you their emotions because they may feel it's unsafe to do so, and they could be very intellectual, or somebody who's just really needs to think things through, or an overthinker. So they may retreat a little bit after the message, and they may not respond right away. We have here I can, and we also have the scissors with the red handle. So there's this aspect of making a choice, commitment cycles. We do have the Hierophant steps. I do think of marriages and climbing the steps of ascension. We have the purple Empress shell, and I think about empowerment and the divine feminine empowering herself and stating her sovereignty, stating her position. We have a mermaid, so a siren in the bowl. We also have Our Lady Mary in the bowl. That could be a name. It could also be motherhood aspects. And we have Hello Kitty with the acoustic guitar with the star of Aquarius. Redirection of focus. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope it resonates with you. Drop a comment below if you would like to be entered for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my link for Etsy for a personal reading, and I update that shop daily, so keep checking back. But I hope that you come back here and visit me at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.